this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors, but specifically the AI detection to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a bare female chest, we have to take this down. It obviously assumed that Brittney was male.
In a game that was already under scrutiny, Brittney Griner escalated tensions by elbowing rookie sensation Caitlin Clark in a moment that quickly went viral. This wasn't a routine foul. It appeared targeted and intentional, capped off with Griner mouthing the slur, "trash effing white girl." Lip readers confirmed the moment, and fans erupted online. But what initially seemed like another instance of on-court aggression soon unraveled into something much more serious. The public backlash wasn't just about race. It was about fairness, sportsmanship, and what may be a ticking time bomb under the WNBA's foundation. The incident opened the door to
Brittney Griner, who I can't stand, sad that she's a Baylor grad. She called her a trash expletive white girl. That was the lip reading. Yes, trash white girl. Trash. Blanking white girl is what she says.
The real twist began when sports doctors and medical experts began analyzing Griner. Not just her words or actions, but her physiology. These professionals weren't gossiping. They were observing and documenting physical characteristics inconsistent with typical female athletic development. From skeletal structure and muscle density to biomechanics and recovery patterns, they identified anomalies that triggered serious questions. Could it be that Griner was never medically verified for female competition? That possibility cracked open a can of worms that the WNBA has seemingly tried to keep sealed for years, and now the evidence is flooding out. As the footage spread, doctors specializing in gender physiology zeroed in on Griner's broad shoulders, defined jawline, and chest structure, features that, while not impossible in female athletes, are exceedingly rare. Combined with her height, musculature, and injury resilience, these patterns raised concerns about whether she meets the biological requirements to compete in women's leagues. Even voice analysis and recovery times, which often differ between biological sexes, began aligning more with male markers. These weren't wild internet theories. They were observations grounded in sports medicine, and they've ignited a firestorm. One of the most damning pieces of evidence came not from a game, but from Griner's own Instagram. A resurfaced topless video, originally posted over 2 years ago, remained on the platform, untouched by AI content moderation systems trained to detect nudity. The implication? The platform's systems didn't register Griner's torso as female. Medical experts argue that this isn't just a tech glitch.
Only to see
it's
her
part of a
mocked,
pattern that raises
physically
even more
bullied,
questions about
and now
biological
racially
sex
insulted with zero
recognition,
consequences.
both automated and human. If Instagram's algorithms interpreted her anatomy as male, what does that suggest about the accuracy of WNBA eligibility checks?
Is the WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such? I guess they are. I guess they're okay with it. Obviously, the league would very much not be okay with a white player saying black girl on the bench in anger and getting caught by TV cameras. That would be an immediate suspension, if not a career.
With mounting evidence, multiple doctors are now publicly calling for full-scale biological testing of Griner. This wouldn't be a superficial glance. It would involve hormone panels, bone density scans, chromosome mapping, and muscle analysis. Such testing could definitively settle questions about eligibility, not just for Griner, but for all athletes across the WNBA. But here's the twist. The league has said nothing. No denials, no clarifications, just silence. And as medical voices grow louder, the WNBA's refusal to comment is beginning to look like complicity. Or worse, a deliberate cover-up.
The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism.
If the medical concerns are validated, the implications go beyond Griner herself. It calls into question the legitimacy of her records, her championships, even her participation in the Olympics. Any accolades earned under false eligibility could be invalidated, and lawsuits from other players could follow. Female athletes who've lost out on roster spots, sponsorships, or competitive opportunities would have strong legal grounds to challenge the league. In short, the WNBA could be sitting on a scandal that may threaten its very foundation, and the cost would be not only financial, but historical. Beyond the physical danger, there's the emotional trauma. Caitlin Clark, arguably the league's brightest rising star, was physically assaulted and racially insulted in a national game. But if Griner does indeed possess biological advantages, this wasn't just aggression. It was domination backed by male physiology. For Clark, the psychological toll of being targeted in this way, with little to no response from the league, could be profound. It's not just about her safety, it's about every female athlete's confidence that they're competing on a level playing field. The fallout from this controversy isn't confined to the WNBA. If Griner's eligibility is officially challenged, every women's league, from NCAA to FIFA to the Olympics, may need to revisit their policies. The precedent set here could transform the very definition of fairness in women's athletics. Medical experts warn that if boundaries around biological sex are ignored or blurred, the integrity of female competition could be permanently compromised. What began as an elbow in a single game could become a defining moment in the future of sports worldwide. Perhaps the most damning detail of all is the WNBA's silence. Despite overwhelming public attention and growing calls for transparency, the league has issued no statements, launched no investigation, and taken no action. That silence, paired with years of seemingly unchecked behavior, makes it appear as if the league is willing to sacrifice integrity for image. By protecting Griner at all costs, they may be implicating themselves in the scandal. This could be the moment the WNBA either doubles down or collapses under the weight of its own avoidance. At stake isn't just one player's reputation, it's the entire legacy of Brittney Griner and the credibility of the WNBA. If these medical revelations are confirmed, every award, title, and endorsement tied to Griner will come under fire. Worse, the WNBA's history books may need rewriting. But the issue runs even deeper. Supporters, teammates, and executives who turned a blind eye could find themselves dragged into the spotlight. This story is no longer about one controversial incident. It's about what happens when science, identity, and sports collide, and the reckoning that follows. If you found this breakdown revealing, hit that like button and subscribe to She Can Hoop 2 for more deep dives into the controversies shaping the future of sports. We bring you the facts others won't. Stay informed, stay sharp.